Welcome to Subscription Prescription, the podcast where you get the information you need to scale your subscription program. Welcome to another dose of Subscription Prescription. This is the podcast where we help you figure out everything related to D2C subscriptions. And on this week's dose, I'm going to walk you through a mini subscription workshop. These are the set of things that if I only had a couple of days and I was diving in and looking at what I wanted to try to fix as quickly as possible, these are the things I would start. And the whole point of this is what is also easy, right? What is something that can be done as quickly as possible? We're going to end with a little bit of the more complicated stuff because sometimes those things can be more impactful. But here is where I would start when we're looking at how we get people to be a subscriber and retain as a subscriber. And the first thing I would do is looking at how we are upselling subscriptions, okay? If I'm looking at your product page and you are not already defaulting to the subscribe and save option, you need to do that. That is step one. I understand the CX issues and people complaining, but it should be really clear and really prominent that this is the subscription. This is what we're defaulting to. We're going to get more people to take it that way. The second part of that is if I have just a little bit of design changes, I can make a quick little edit inside of my theme, maybe make the color a little bit more prominent, or that subscription option just stand out a little bit more. That's another thing. The next thing I would look at is how I'm upselling them inside the cart. So if somebody adds a one-time product to my cart, is my cart upselling the subscription option, right? Am I using rebuy, one-click upsell, or if I'm on recharge, I believe Skio and some of the other platforms like Loop and others might be rolling out these features soon, but I know Recharge can do it right now, is the idea of, hey, you have the one-time purchase option. Here is the subscribe and save option for that product. You can get that at 10%. Certainly there are really fancy ways that you can customize that, but just using out-of-the-box functionality to get somebody to pick a subscription option when they've selected the one-time option is the next place that I would go. Boom, toggle that on, download an app, see, connecting it, testing it, see how that works, okay? After that, I'm gonna jump a little bit farther ahead in the subscription experience, and I'm going to go look at my billing reminder email. This is one of the most underutilized, underserved aspects of subscriptions. I'm talking about enterprise grade brands all the way down to new startup ones. Is I am basically just sending you a transactional email letting you know that your subscription is about to renew, AKA I'm about to charge your credit card, okay? So what I would do there is I would take a little bit of my existing branding assets. I take a little bit of like a fun lifestyle image, or if I had a little bit of time at Canva, I would maybe put together a little bit of like a subscription perk type thing. Or even if you don't want to do design, that's fine. I would at least write some strong copy about the benefits of being a subscriber. When I say benefits, I don't mean discount and free shipping and stuff like that. I'm talking about talk about your product. The reasons people bought from you, right? You should know that. If you're not using a post-purchase like checkout survey tool like No Commerce or Bestie, you need to be doing that. Interviewing your customers, understanding why did you buy this? Are they weight loss goals? Whatever that is. Write a couple sentences about the power of change, about what's coming, what's happening, how things are going, how other people talk about it. Be real, talk to them, invest in a little bit of branding, a little bit of copy, so that you're reminding people of the value that is coming in their subscription. Some of the simplest examples that I use all of the time is say like I Heart Dogs. They donate a portion of every sale to feed shelter pets. They remind people in line one, your upcoming order will feed 7 dogs in the next month, right? Boom. Value prop right out of the gate, right? If it's weight loss, whatever that is, the new you is coming. Keep at it. Hard work, blah, 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 right? Make sure that that is powerful and on brand for you. And then I would then see if I can grab a quick action link from my subscription app. All of them have great help docs on this, where I can embed like a delay button inside of the email. So if like somebody has too much product, you can actually just click here, delay, and I would have that be either next to or right above the manage my subscription button, which I'm going to try to put as far down the fold, below the fold, or far down the scroll in the email as possible. I want to make sure I'm emphasizing the power of my product, my brand, and why it's great to be a subscriber before I get to that point. Okay, so I'm looking at that. The next thing I am tackling is the cancellation flow. I'm going to go look at those top reasons. I'm going to look and see, are people telling me it's too much product? It's too expensive. I don't think it was working. Those are really common reasons. I'm going to look at what's been effective or not, right? Are discounts working with some people? Are you only doing 10% off to keep a subscriber, right? That's another common one. A lot of brands are really worried about margins. Say the subscription's only 10% off to begin with. You don't want to do 20% or 30% off. But I have to tell you, the most effective place to use aggressive discounting is in the cancellation flow. You'll get people on another order. You already have them, so you're not facing similar CAC costs and concerns. So you want to make sure you're protecting your margin. If you can afford to offer an aggressive discount, there is a pretty strong correlation between the more aggressive the discount, the better the save rate. So that's one. The other thing would be is like, can I make some options that are a little bit more specific? So if it's too much product, is it too much product because I didn't start using the product? Is it too much product because I ordered a little too much for myself? Because you can talk to those people a little bit differently. Somebody that's never really used it, I'm going to try to lean in to remind them the powers and benefits of my product, why you should be using it. If it's, hey, I just ordered a little too much for myself, I'm going to make sure there's a good delay or skip action there. So go spend a little time looking at that, what people are seeing. If you have a test order, that's a great way to just start going through and seeing what people are looking at. And ultimately, I want to look at making a splash screen. I'm going to utilize a splash screen where I give somebody the option to delay or skip before they even see the cancellation reasons. If you need to create a little bit of content here, you can use like a graphic that shows subscription benefits. I do think one of the most powerful things is filming a quick video, even if it's on your iPhone. Honestly, the power of just talking genuinely at your customers right here. If you go to our website under free resources for the subscriptiondoc.com, you'll see a template for making this video, or just reach out to me and I'll send it to you. But that little founder video that talks about the reason why you started the brand, the reason why you care about people, right? Put that in this cancellation flow. Gangbusters. It's an amazing way to just improve your cancellation save rate. And then if I still have time after doing all that stuff, right? Now, granted, I could do that in a couple hours because I've done it a ton of times, but as we're figuring things out and life is in the way, it's something you might break up over a course of a couple of days. The last thing I'm going to look at is my onboarding email series. I'm going to look at how I'm talking to people. And again, this is a point where it makes a lot of sense to create like a brand or founder email that is welcoming somebody to the subscription program, that talks about your mission, talks about your story. Maybe it talks about your ingredients or what's making it special or how you're working hard to change people's lives. Like, we're talking about warm fuzzies here. People have bought from you. Let's make it a little bit warm fuzzy. Again, there's also maybe a couple other emails you can put in here where we're making sure that people are getting onboarded to the product really, really well, right? So again, it's really easy to embed too much content in a single email, thinking that needs to be it. Or it's really easy to think, I don't need to send that email again because that messaging was in a prior email or it was on the product page. But I would say don't think of it like that. The opportunity here is actually reinforcing these points. So welcome to the subscription email. Thank you from the founder. This is our story and what makes us different. Here's an email talking about how to get the most out of your product. And that could be triggered off of like a delivery trigger. So the product's been delivered. Here's how to make the most of that. And then maybe we follow up again with another email about our ingredients and what makes our formulation special, right? Again, we have templates for this on our website, thesubscription.com. If you want to go grab some of those, they're free to get and to use. You don't even need to give us an email. Just download them. That's where I would go through. So we're going to look at defaulting to the subscribe and save option, maybe make a couple little design changes to make that more prominent. We're going to look at upsells in the cart and at checkout to make sure that people know they can save more when they get their subscription. We're going to look at the billing reminder email, make sure that's on brand. We're going to look at our cancellation flows, update some of our copy, maybe increase some of our discounts to see if those can be more effective, and a splash screen. And then we're going to look at how we're onboarding people. Now, the final thing, if I've got a little bit of time, if I'm thinking about what I'm planning long-term, it is coming back to that subscription offer, okay? This is thinking about, hey, our brand, what we started with, where we are. Should we start offering bulk options where people buy two and get a third one free? Should we look at a gift option for subscribers? Should we look at testing a starter kit? Should we look at testing more aggressive discounts to see how that affects conversion rates, right? Those are the things you're going to want to spend a little more time on planning, and they take a little bit longer to execute because we might be, adjusting technically something on the website. But that is the I would say it's normally the first place we like to start because it is, but when we're kind of like rushing through this scenario, it maybe is the last thing I'm going to come to and say, this is what I'm going to start working on now in the future is on that. Okay. That's it for this week's dose. I hope you found this valuable. If you're ever curious about what we do, a lot of what I went through just now, actually everything I went through just now is part of what we do, whether you're a new brand and using our launch package, or you're an existing brand using our retainer, or if you'd like to get an insight into what you should be doing, we do offer an audit. Again, I'll have a link to our website in that if you'd like to schedule time to learn more, but it's at thesubscriptiondoc.com. And that's it for this week's dose. Stay tuned to next Tuesday for another episode of Subscription Prescription. That's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe so that you can get notified when new episodes come out each week on Tuesdays.